death battle they made. So in the next couple of weeks, you're gonna have all those videos to watch of me, and just subscribe and get all my other stuff, guys. So let's see. Full disclaimer: I already coming in believing that Ichigo going to win, but I will say this: out of the two anime shows, which one I favor most is Yu Yu Hakusho. I grew up watching Yu Yu Hakusho. I also grew up watching Bleach, but Yu Yu Hakusho has a more special place in my heart. Bleach is good too now. Let's not get it twisted, but I'm just letting that know now.
Ichigo Kurosaki.
But I won't be mad whoever wins. That's for sure.
Versus Yusuke Urameshi.
The substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Tell me, Boomstick, what happens when we die?
Endless nothingness? Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Our souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my second guess.
And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead. The Soul
Yu Yu
Society.
Hakusho and
Works
Bleach
great
have a lot of similarities in common.
Enter
when it comes to
Ichigo
storytelling.
Kurosaki,
That's
whose
it.
tragic anime backstory came way too early when his mom was killed by a hollow. Reason number one why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist.
Left with his grief, young Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's guilt.
So he lashed out the only way he knew how, beating people up.
But this wound began to
And you get
heal
at
when he
least
found his
guaranteed
calling,
2 girl, that's
upon
what
meeting a
we saw.
Shinigami named Rukia. To stop a powerful hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi. He can wield vast amounts of spiritual energy, called Ryoku, and exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure, or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's a lot of big words, but all it really means is he's
I
a
do love this
super-powered
thing.
ghost. With an
Bleach
epic
did have
sword,
one of the best
his
soundtracks
spirit aura
by
is so
far
strong, it can
in
stun
anime.
lock foes,
There's
crushing
no
him under his
arguing
own
about that,
power,
for sure.
even fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of invisible footholds in the air. Paired with speed-boosting skills like Shunpo, he can virtually fly.
Say goodbye to the kid who beat up bullies for their lunch money, and hello to the town's new superhero, with fellow Ghostbusters, Orihime, Chad, and Uryu, plus Rukia. It was the Shinigami's job to tear hollows a new hole.
While balancing responsibilities at school, of course. GPA
fair.
comes first, and maybe a round or two of tech.
But it wouldn't be possible without his Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto. It's
Zanpakuto?
basically a super-powered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost Sword!
Though strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of 2 distinct spirits, both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at all.
Just call him Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu. Anyway, the double
Yeah.
Ghost Sword gives
Or-
Ichigo lots of new moves, including his
Zangetsu and
trademark
White
attack,
Hollow.
the Sword Beam to end all sword beams.
Or White Ichigo.
Getsuga Tensho!
Getsuga Tensho is incredibly powerful, and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate
had
mid-attack
to.
to act as a barrier, and combine 2 at once into the even stronger Getsuga Jujisho.
To cut even the biggest hollows down to
blasts. He only
size,
has
Ichigo
2.
was ridiculously strong, even from frame 1.
He can make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower-than-light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, Uryu moved so fast that he left his own shadow behind.
But as Ichigo became more involved with the Soul Society,
Oh, really?
he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
Byakuya guy's so fast, Ichigo can't even see him. Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music!
Until now, Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master.
They kind of speed through a few things, but
In Bankai, his
in the
speed
most part,
skyrocketed,
yeah, I
letting him
will
turn
agree.
the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy
Byakuya
the
my
whole
favorite now. You
freaking
can't talk
Soul
bad about him.
Society.
Because Ichigo's
the OG.
greatest gift is his potential to
Arguably, he got
improve. Despite only
way
being a
overpowered.
teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries. He can quickly adapt to new
maybe not
weapons and
overpowered,
styles
but he's definitely
mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Catboy Grimjow. He was getting clamped, but as soon as he heard
Top 5
Orihime
favorite
cheering him
characters in
on,
Bleach.
that was all he needed to smash that kitty.
You mean Grimjow, right?
Yeah, but even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With just a finger,
Aizen's a
Aizen
different
stopped
story.
Ichigo's Bankai and his theme song, Rude.
Ichigo needed to tap into his unexplained hollow power. Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
Still, Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't want that.
Hollowification exceeds even Bankai and was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Hueco Mundo, the world of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
But with help from his secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the dark idea what they want to do with their life. However, that was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent.
Done.
Ichigo was finally content, and 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his fears, and walk onward. Most teenagers have no idea what they want to do with their life. However, that was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke Urameshi, because he only ever wanted to do one thing.
Throw hands! It don't matter who the ops are,
Yeah.
be they women, old folk, or babies, Yusuke lived to fight. It's what gave life meaning. Who cares about stupid things like friends and family?
Which is why it was so surprising when one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car
Not
to
really.
save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
It's not really surprising.
Raccoon claims another victim.
But this is chapter 1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly, though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim
No,
Yusuke's soul.
it was
It
a
was a
hot blonde-
blue-haired
yeah, blue
anime
hair.
girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan, whose job was to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately,
end the
or I
time.
guess fortunately
We'll
for
have to do
him,
this. I wanna
he
watch
was
the new
such an
Hakusho.
asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming and didn't have any space
Which is
prepared
crazy.
for him. Imagine being such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with his pants down.
So the underworld
on his
surrogate
mind,
king,
by the way. That's
Koenma,
not-
offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do in that situation and told Satan Jr. to stuff it. I mean, he was never really good for anything, and
not
no
really
one was
Satan
gonna
Jr.
miss him. So what's the
Yama
point of
Jr.,
coming
but-
back to life? It's not
Yeah,
like
Yama's
his
supposed to- well, I guess
mom would
Yama
be
is supposed to
sad,
be
or
the-
his childhood
so I
sweetheart
guess- well,
Keiko
no.
would be heartbroken,
No.
or even his rival Kuwabara would shed manly tears.
Kuwabara.
Oh man,
At the sight of loved ones who cared far more than he ever expected,
We'll have a
Yusuke
cool-
had a change of heart and accepted Koenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
and newfound ass-kicking ability. In his quest to beat the
a little
dog
bit.
shit out of Demonkind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki,
first couple
or
of-
spirit
in the
energy.
beginning, it was
He's
all luck.
ridiculously strong, fast, and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early on, Yusuke could parry Suzaku's lightning arrows, which are formed from real lightning called down from the sky.
Yeah,
And with
but
the
that was
help of
after his
legendary
training
warrior
too, though, to
Genkai,
be
he
fair.
mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to smithereens.
My favorite shonen move ever,
Spirit
the
gun.
Spirit Gun. At first, Yusuke had a limited number of shots, but eventually he turned it into his personal WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around as much as he wants.
The spirit gun is more versatile than it appears. Yusuke can bounce it off surfaces for sneak attacks, propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a spirit shotgun, a mighty AoE blast, or a spirit punch, where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clobbers the hell out of you. And the spirit wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Well,
Yusuke may be a
it
punk,
was
but
not
he's deceptively
exactly,
skilled
but
and
yeah.
cunning in
He
battle.
can be.
He's not afraid to fight dirty, throwing his shoes, using sleight of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart, and his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Cabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
But his best secret is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies, even if it means literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
E and D class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best. C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A and S? Well, hold on to your ass. We're talking end of the world.
As Yusuke forged bonds with new
That is
allies,
true.
like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize weaker demons and crush their
Toguro is
souls
still
with
one of the
sheer
best anime
aura.
But
villains of all
Yusuke
time.
needed to survive and protect his loved ones, so he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai!
Our sun has an average luminosity of 380 septillion watts, or joules per second. Small stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Enough to send Toguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face
By the
S-class
by,
threats
guys,
like
just gonna
Sensui,
say it.
a past spirit detective
Dark
gone
Tournament was
bad,
definitely the
and
best.
a great measuring stick for what top-tier
Was
demons are
definitely
capable
the best
of.
art.
Sensui
for
was
Yu Yu
so
Hakusho.
yoked he couldn't even
Black-
use all his power in the
Black
human
chapter was
world
okay.
without
The
threatening
Black
to
tape,
bring
whatever
down
it's
the
called.
whole thing. He compared destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai, Yusuke could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted. And even A-class threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima guy is strong as balls. In the past, he fought the Netherworld King Yakumo, who could eradicate the entire human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them to the point where he
Where did this
overloaded
come
Yakumo
from?
with his own energy.
It must
And
be from
do
the
keep
movie
in
Real
mind,
Special.
Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui,
Is that canon?
whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a demon himself.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle.
I'm just gonna say, like I said, guys, I see Yusuke losing and Ichigo winning. But even if it's the other way, it would be, well, one, I would be very shocked. But two, I'm not gonna care too much because it's entertaining. But I will say, both their stories are very similar, especially the Lost Shikigami arc and the Black Chapter, Black Tape, whatever it was called arc. So both of those are very similar to each other. So I just say that I see why they're doing it for that purpose alone and other stuff, but when it comes to storytelling and a similar characters, but when it comes to everything else like powers and stuff, it just doesn't. It's a mismatch to me.
Battle!
Yusuke, my boy, you definitely want to lose, but at least it's gonna be entertaining.
That's a demon. That's a hollow. No doubt about it.
Side note, this boat is banging.
Spirit guide! Getsuga Tensho!
And also, Yusuke doesn't have no transformation or anything. Are they gonna do Ichigo a Bankai? You don't even really know what his Bankai looks like. They're using his old skill set.
No match!
That is kind of funny, but I don't think that was
Hollow. Chump change. Reckless idiot! What a baby! Little demon energy got you scared? Nah.
okay, you're doing great.
Getsuga! Yujiso! Two at once? Damn, why didn't I think of that?
Give in to me, Yusuke. Let's devour him together.
He know how to control his
Hell no!
Ichigo.
This is my fight, jackass! You just hold me back!
I was just saying that.
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner? Let's do it. Like old times.
On! Time!
Did they really get the voice of Johnny Unbosh for this?
Tensa! Kongetsu!
Okay, so they did.
Is that the best you can do? I can go even faster if you'd like.
Yeah, that's the voice of Johnny
Hell
Unbosh.
yeah! Bring it on,
We got the
asshole!
voice of Johnny Unbosh in this. Am I mistaken? Tell me in the comments below.
I'll
but I
kill
feel like
you
that's-
even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! You better do the same! Screw all on the line! You better do the same!
It also hurts me because I know you.
Screw that!
But it's entertaining, though.
Give me a freaking break.
See you on the other side.
KO! You, think the afterlife offers frequent flyer miles?
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters, starting with their abilities.
Yusuke
I'm just gonna say this once. We all saw this coming. We knew this was gonna happen. Yusuke versus Ichigo. Yet again, my biggest question of all this. I understand, like I said, they got the same similar stories, abilities, sort of kind of like they got a very similar backstory, characteristics, character, and everything. But why? It's just like there've been a lot of death battles that I just did not understand why they did. And this will be in the top 5. Why?
could see Ichigo no problem, and resist auras like Togoro's that are similar to Reiatsu, so Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of Dangai training.
And all those swords! He just had way more abilities to play with.
Likewise, speed was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on, and obviously got much faster over time. Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's gotten faster too! He couldn't even see Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yuhabak that utilized the same power. So, Ichigo takes speed. But Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is kinda both their things. Ichigo has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same way.
So, both had their strong suits, with advantages on each side. It's fair to call this one a draw.
Leaving only the biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Ichigo. There's no question about it.
俺はもうみんなと
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale,
Nobody
that's about
denying
4
that.
quadrillion megatons of
Some of that stuff I didn't know.
TNT, which is
No one denying
crazy.
Ichigo is
Similarly,
very
mid-series
powerful.
Ichigo could
Yusuke
shake
is very
Hueco
powerful, like-
tear through hell, and block
Unbelievably
attacks that could
powerful.
destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yuhabak, who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than
Yeah,
just
that's what I
one.
was
To
getting
be
at.
fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time. Pretty close to Yuhabak's threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo,
That's
it's
not.
not. Yhwach was also going to destroy the Garganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's planet-sized world. Plus, Ichigo
You know what
matched
I'm just
Yhwach in
realizing?
True Shikai, without his additional boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way. But the way we see it, even being generous with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big, giving Ichigo the final edge. Sorry if things got messy, but that's just how Ichi goes.
The winner is Ichigo Kurosaki.
Next time on Death Battle.
Right, Metal Sonic versus Cell. I did see this. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and say I see Cell winning. I'm a fan of both. I don't know too much about Metal Sonic. I'm reading the IDW Sonic stuff, and also I'm also reading the Archie stuff too. So I'm still gonna go with Cell for right now.